He put on 70 pounds of muscle in 3 years. He claims to be 100% natural. He's actually gone and posted his blood work and says, this is now evidence that I'm natural. Only thing, he actually outed himself. Coach Greg, in today's video, it's a natty or not on Radu on Instagram. This guy, he claims to be 100% natural, but the people, they just don't believe him. His transformation, it's absolutely incredible. It's astounding. And so he's an INBA pro. I do believe he's passed a drug test in the past. That's enough proof to say that he's natural, right? Wrong. Everyone knows this, especially when it comes to Hussein Farhat. People are saying, hey, just because you pass blood work once doesn't mean you're natural, and that's a very good point. What Radu has done is he's actually gone and posted his blood work and says, this is now evidence that I'm natural. Only thing, he actually outed himself. What people don't understand is that blood work is more telling of even a drug test. And so if you post blood work and you pass, well, it doesn't prove that you're natural, but at least it helps. But if you post blood work and it shows that you're not natural, then you're not natural. And so let's first examine where he first began. 2016, 51 kilograms. And so he first began about 114 pounds. 2022, 77 kilograms. And so about 170 pounds. He went from looking, I mean, after all, 2016, that looks pretty impressive. But the end, it's astonishing. He put on 57 pounds while at the same time getting significantly leaner. That's him in contest shape. In his off-season shape, he's over 105 kilograms. And so that means he gained 115 pounds. Now, I know that Hussein put on a lot. He was 139 pounds. He started 184 at the end, 45 pounds, and people said that's impossible. This guy put on 115 pounds, but he did increase his body fat. But bro put on 57 pounds and went from being pretty lean to being so shredded. But it's still possible. I mean, after all, there are perhaps 1 in a million chances that he did it natty. My physique throughout the years, which one is your favorite? Made some pretty good gains, but there's always room for improvement. Pretty good gains. Okay. My first ever progress picture versus my craziest looking progress picture and everything in between. Taken in the same bathroom. And so this is in the same location. I do believe the same lighting. Everything. And this is in 6 years where he put on 26 kilograms, of which it's 57 pounds. And based on what I'm seeing, I do believe he's leaner in this photo than in that. And so if I had to guess, I would say he put on probably 65 pounds of muscle in 6 years. Let's see if this makes any sense. In 2017, you can see he's added 15 kilograms. From that to that is 15 kilograms. And percentage-wise, it's a lot. He went from 51 kilograms, 114 pounds, to 66 kilograms, about 146. That's 33 pounds. And if you ask me, I don't think he added on any body fat. In his first year of training, he put on 33 pounds of muscle. And that's from weighing 114. And so 33 pounds, it's about 30% of his body weight. Now, if bro was 6'2" and his starting weight was 200 pounds, 33 pounds, it would be a lot more realistic. But as a percentage of weight, it's about 30%. I don't know if I've ever heard of this. Not even Hussein Farhat did this. This already is more impressive than Hussein Farhat, and many of you still believe that Hussein is a fake natty. Next, 2018, he gains an additional 9 kilograms, about 20 pounds. And so in the first year, he puts on 33 pounds of muscle, and the next year he puts on 20. This is 53 pounds of muscle in 2 years. Remember, Hussein Farhat, many people speculated was 60 pounds, but we did not understand what he weighed when he started. There was a photo that was going viral. It was him when he was 17. That was not his starting point. That was actually 2 years prior. Starting weight was 139. So Hussein put on 45 pounds of muscle in 3 years. This guy put on 50 plus pounds in 2 years. But hey, it's possible. 2019, he then puts on 17 and a half pounds more muscle. He hasn't gotten fat. He's still very, very lean. This is incredible. I mean, he went from 51 kilograms to 83 kilograms, is 32 kilograms, is that's 70 pounds. I think I got it wrong. I said he put on 50-some pounds of muscle. He put on 70 pounds of muscle in 3 years. The first years of training, he put on 70 pounds. And so, has he somehow lost muscle? He put on 70 pounds of muscle in his first 3 years, even with performance-enhancing drugs. That's incredible. That's way more than most people are gaining. But if he did it in the first 3 years, and it's 3 years since that time, he must be significantly bigger. I mean, I'm certain that I'm actually doing a video about perhaps Derek Lunsford. If he made this much muscle gains, how is he not competing at the Mr. Olympia? I mean, you're following me so far, right? This is incredible. But I don't see any gyno. I don't see horrible acne. It looks like quality muscle. And so had it not been for the fact that he put on that much muscle, you'd have to say, well, why didn't he just do it? Maybe he just has those crazy genetics. And the next year, it's finally slowing down for him. 2020, I started taking bodybuilding seriously, 85 kilograms. And so the year he takes bodybuilding seriously, he puts on only 4 pounds. And so in those prior years, when he was just dabbling in bodybuilding, he put on 70 pounds in 3 years. That's just from playing around, not taking it serious. He's just going to the gym, training half-assed and so on. But now, he's gonna take it serious. And so how much more muscle is he gonna gain? Is bro gonna gain 200 pounds of muscle? And so in 2021, he now puts on 6 kilograms of muscle. That's over 13 pounds. And so hear me out. He put on 33 pounds, then he put on about 20, then he put on like 13, then he put on 4, and now suddenly he's back to putting on 13. It's almost like it was the stock market. What happened in that dip? And it says, I started taking bodybuilding seriously. Is that code for I started taking performance-enhancing drugs? Not sure exactly what that means, but he started to take things seriously. He's now fairly shredded. I mean, look at this guy. Does that look impressive? 91 kilograms is 200 pounds, almost as big as Will Tennyson, only this is leaner than Will in his off-season. Look at the abs, look at the delts, the roundness, the fullness of the biceps. He seems to have amazing body parts. His chest perhaps a little bit lagging, but everything else is amazing. Certainly getting close to perhaps 12% body fat. And so he decides to now enter a perhaps drug-tested bodybuilding competition. His starting weight, 200 pounds, around 12% body fat. And so how much weight is he gonna lose? Hussein Farhad, he started his diet at about 184 pounds and he competed at 166 while dehydrated, dry, and so on. So Hussein lost 18 pounds as he dieted for his first drug-tested bodybuilding competition, of which he didn't get drug-tested because he didn't win the overall. But what about this guy? 77 kilograms, and so he lost 14 kilograms, and so that is about 30 pounds. And so he went from a very respectable 12% body fat and lost 30 pounds and looked like this. Bruh. You see him in the green posing trunks? He does look a little bit leaner than his original. He does have some greater detail. He lost 30 pounds though. Does it look like he lost 30 pounds of fat and or water? To go from 12% body, let's just do some quick math. 12% of 200 pounds, so he was 176 pounds. And so his lean, fat-free mass, his fat-free muscle is 176 pounds. If he had 0% body fat, his end weight, 170 pounds. And so he started at 200 pounds and he competed at 170 at perhaps 7% body fat. I mean, he looks decent, very respectable, especially for a natural bodybuilder. But why did bro lose about 15 pounds of muscle? I mean, at least 15 pounds. If you look at his start photo and his after photo, does it look like he lost 30 pounds of fat and or water? Or does it look like he lost maybe half fat and water and half muscle? Why would he lose 15 pounds of muscle while dieting for his very first competition? Now, some of you saying, well, he's natural, he's gonna lose all of that muscle. Or what if he was on performance-enhancing drugs and then when he started his cut, perhaps 3 months before the competition, he went off of those drugs and because of that lost a significant amount of muscle? Would that explain things? Think of it. If you're on steroids, SARMs, peptide, whatever, in the off season the entire time, and then you start dieting for a competition and you know you could get drug tested, or let's say you offered $100,000 to someone who could drug test you at any time. You'd certainly have to be off steroids at that time because you could get tested at any time. And during that process, you're gonna lose a shit ton of muscle, at least half. Look at his endpoint. Does it not look like he came off? It looks to me like he came off. Now, let's say he was tested at the competition and he passed. How do you think that would be possible? Would it be possible that he would have just cycled off 3 months before the competition, lost 15 pounds of muscle, competed, passed the test, and then after the competition, went back on? That is a very logical and plausible explanation, but it's not enough. I can't just take a video and say, I know this was what happened. You are a fake natty. It's merely speculation, but there is much greater evidence than this. And remember, he's already got his blood work, and I said he's already outed himself, and so wait till the ending. Following this competition, his first show in 2021, he then bulks up to 95 kilograms. Look at the shape of this guy in his off season. What is he now? Perhaps 14% body fat? I mean, he has striations in the delts. He's got vascularity, abs. Is this actually 14% or is it still 12%? This guy is still very lean. Look at the detail. I'm not photoshopping, cropping. I'm not doing any of this shit. I'm showing you his physique. He went from 77 kilograms back up to 95. Is it possible he then went back on steroids or SARMs, peptides, whatever, following the competition? How much of this muscle did he keep on his next competition? What happened to the muscle? He was 95 kilograms and now he's back down to 77. He lost 18 kilograms. That's 40 pounds. How many people think that he lost 40 pounds of body fat while dieting for this competition? 40 pounds of fat, water, and so on. Or does it look like he lost 20 pounds of fat and water and 20 pounds of muscle? I'm asking you. He lost 40 pounds. Does bro look 40 pounds overweight? I'm 192 pounds right now, and if I competed, do you think I would have to lose 40 pounds? Or would it be closer to 10? But I'm on HRT, and so if I went off of HRT and then competed 100% natural, do you think I would lose 40 pounds? Of course not. I wouldn't compete 152 pounds, but I might have to lose 20. And so depending on how much you're on in your off season, the more you're on, the more you're going to lose when you come off. And so I'm on HRT. If I went off HRT and competed 100% natural, I probably have to lose 20 pounds. How did bro lose 40? Is it possible that he's on more than Coach Greg? I'm on HRT, 140 milligrams a week. Is it possible that he's on Test, Ostrine, Rad 140, MK677, everything? Of course it is. He diets down for the competition and again goes natural. And if he is in fact being drug tested at the competition, of course he's going to pass. He would have time to cycle off. Remember, he's not offering to have his blood work examined at any time, for example, 2 or 3 months before the competition, because if you get blood work from somebody at a random time, at any time, the blood work will show telltale signs that you're not in fact natural. Unfortunately, because this guy's physique is so impressive, many people have doubted him. He claims to be 100% natural. He promises it. He says, guys, believe me, I love this sport and I am 100% natural. My transformation is amazing and you should follow in my footsteps. Perhaps hire him for coaching and so on. And so it seems very, very similar to Hussein Farhat. And so perhaps I should reach out to this guy and offer him a contract with HCLT supplements. After all, he is 100% natural, right? And so I was excited that he showed his blood work. He said, I'm gonna silence the haters. And so he gets his blood work taken to prove he's 100% natural, just like Hussein Farhat. And so let me now look at his blood work. Let us examine it. Remember, I went into detail. And if you think that I'm going to lie or cover for this guy, that I'm not gonna be open, honest, and transparent, then you don't know Coach Greg. And so if you don't believe me, ask someone else to look at his blood work. I don't care who it is. Ask TNF, ask Derek, ask anyone who knows what he's doing. Let's look at the blood work. This is the key information. This is the icing on the cake. Up to this point, I feel he's a fake natty, but I can't say that he is. I don't have enough evidence. All I can see is he seems to get bigger and smaller and bigger and smaller, but it's just speculation. But the blood work, that tells a story. Someone wrote in and said they'd examined his blood work. It says LH about 11 and FSH about 2.5. They said, I don't think he's natty. His before and after was pretty crazy. He's way better than Hussein. And so of course, when I got that message, I said, well, I need to do a natty on this guy. Is he in fact better than Hussein? Is he 100% natural, or is he fake Natty? His off season, he is always juiced, and show day, he's always small, it seems. In his off season, he looks very sus. He's very full, has big muscle bellies, and looks very lean. While blood work doesn't prove someone's natural status, a clean history of drug testing combined with consistent natural range blood work is strong evidence. This is very true. It doesn't prove anything. Just because he passes this blood work, it doesn't prove that he's 100% natural. It's strong evidence, but it doesn't prove it. Listen to this comment on someone who actually knows how to read blood work. Your blood work shows clear signs of steroid use. Your LH is high while FSH is normal. This imbalance doesn't happen naturally. Your free testosterone is also higher than expected with these levels. This pattern typically comes from using testosterone, SARMs, or other performance enhancers. Natural lifters don't get these results. That is an accurate assessment. He thought he was going to show his blood work and then it was going to prove that he was natural. Being on gear for 10 months a year, then getting blood work done during your off cycle time isn't natty. His response, you don't look your best while off cycle. Now, is his testosterone level through the roof? Nope, it's in normal range. But a normal person does not have FSH and LH in this ratio. There are other markers that can demonstrate that you're not natural. And so most likely, this is what's happening. Almost certainly. He's either on enclomiphene or he's taken Ostrine. Most likely, I'm betting enclomiphene. And so what's likely happening is he's used a PCT or he's actually currently on enclomiphene. Now remember, the blood work doesn't show you're on enclomiphene. Remember when Alex Eubank had 921 nanograms per deciliter? Previously, his entire life, it was always much, much lower. My prediction was, this looks like a guy who's on enclomiphene. Blood work doesn't test for enclomiphene, but it shows the results of enclomiphene. And so I'm predicting that bro has used enclomiphene. He's either been on a PCT, perhaps in his off season, he's used testosterone, is currently being suppressed, and he's using enclomiphene or a PCT to increase LH in order to produce more testosterone. And so when he gets his blood work done, it shows normal levels of testosterone, but the cause of this normal level of testosterone, that is very sus. And so when I combine not passing the blood work, aka this is a fail in terms of saying this proves that I'm natural, combined with the fact that he put on tons of muscle in the off season and then loses a significant amount of muscle while dieting, that leads me to conclude that I do believe that this guy is not natural. Now, is it guaranteed? No. There's still probably a 1 in a million chance that this guy is natural. But is he? And in comparison, Hussein Farhad, he did the blood work, passed the blood work, has done the blood work yet again, is waiting for those results, and is again getting tested with the stick guy. And so, who do you think is more natural? This guy or Hussein who passed the blood work? Based on the photos that he posts on Instagram on those transformations, he didn't look all that impressive, but when I see photos of him off stage like this, look how shredded bro actually got. That looks insanity. And remember, he claims to be 100% natural. On his stage photos, bro looks absolutely shredded, perhaps getting close to 4% body fat. You can see the difference that the tan makes, the stage lighting, the oil, and so on. And so he just posted this video where it says he put on 57 pounds in 16 months. And on the left, he says he's at 5% body fat. And on the right, he says he's somewhere between 15 and 18%. And so I say, first of all, that ain't 15 to 18%. That's ridiculous. I think he's saying that because he's trying to downplay that he gained more muscle compared to fat. Because if he says he went from 5% to 18%, it reflects less muscle growth. But let's say he went up 5% body fat, that's about 10 pounds of fat. And so he put on 47 pounds of muscle based on this. Let's round it down to 40. Does anyone think he put on 40 pounds of muscle in 16 months after already training hard for 5 years? This is not newbie gains. Like, he didn't show up on day one like that. But even if he did, newbie gains, first year, 40 pounds of muscle. When you think of the natural bodybuilders, remember TNFE brags up the natural bodybuilders quite a lot. He's like, they're at 4% body fat. They are so lean. It's incredible. It's not really all that hard if you just stay in a calorie deficit. Is it also possible that they go on steroids for, let's say, 9 months straight, and then they come off the steroids, and then they do the competition and pass the drug test, because by 3 months, it's most certainly out of your system. Anavar probably take a month to get out of your system. So you could technically be using Anavar for 11 months, pass the drug test, and then after the drug test, go on. And so you're probably thinking, well, how could anyone ever show they're natural? This is why I say, send me your blood work right now. If you don't have any notice, you don't have time to cycle off. They can say, hey, I'll get your blood work to you in a month or two. Well, by then, you might have had time to reset, to rebalance your blood work. But if you get tested at any time, for example, Hussein Farhad said, test me at any time, $100,000. That is a very confident man. When he says at any time, it could be tomorrow, next month, next week, at any time. How would he have time to cycle off? And so that is indicative of somebody that's probably not using anything. Is it possible that he's just thinking, oh, but no one will ever test me, they'll never know. I'll just get a lookalike to do the drug test for me. I'll somehow forge the name. There's a possibility that somehow they got somebody else to do the blood work. They come in and give somebody else's blood, whatever. It's possible, but not very likely. Now, if you really want to prove that you're natural, remember, I've done these on a lot of people. For example, Ashton Hall, Mike O'Hearn, Dana Lynn Bailey, the list goes on and on. If you say, Greg, I'm not a fake natty, I'm going to send you my blood work right now. If they then send me your blood work right away and send it to me and they pass, well, I have no choice but to make a video and say, I think I got it wrong. It looks like this guy's actually natural. But these people, they don't do that. They just say, oh, Coach Greg, he got it wrong. I am giving you my impartial, honest opinion on what I see. If it's my best friend in the world and they fail, I'm going to say, you failed. If I hate the person and they fail, I'm going to say, you fail. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just trying to tell you what I see. And so if Hussein fails the blood work, I'm going to say he failed. How is that on me? How is that a reflection on me? I'm not the one that's doing it. They're doing it. I'm reporting the news. I go over the blood work and I say what happens. I don't make more money by saying that they're natural or enhanced. When Hussein joined my company, he had already passed the blood work. I didn't lie about the blood work and already have him in my company, because that sounds like a good explanation. Well, he's lying about it to cover him up because he's part of the company. He wasn't a part of the company. I had just literally met the guy when he did the blood work. I'm just reporting what I see. And so my opinion, I don't believe this guy's natural. I believe he cycles on and off. Maybe he's going to disagree with me, but unless he's showing his blood work continuously throughout the year, I just don't believe it. Instead of going and hopping on and off of performance-enhancing drugs and clomiphene and so on, why not just use Turk Builder Max? You can take it year-round. You're not going to fail the blood work. You're not going to fail a drug test. You're not going to fail anything. And so if you're interested in getting a supplement that works, that's been proven to be Ajuga turkistanica, that we're not lying, third-party testing every single time. Not the other companies, not the ones with fake Ajuga, but HDLT supplements. Click the link in the description, code Greg, 15% off. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it. Don't forget to watch one of those two bloops. And of course, if you're looking for coaching, you get coaching plans by me and my team. Apply by clicking the link in the description. You get coaching calls, blood work reading. You're gonna be on the phone with Coach Greg. You have unlimited text messaging. You have the food recommendations. You have the diet and the training plans, everything you'll ever need at drastically reduced prices. And so if you can afford it, click the link in the description and apply today. And until next time, I am out.